Whoa! The mirror breaking? That animation.
Oh my gosh, I love the animation!
Friday Night Funkin' is a game I'm sure we've all played or at least heard of at some point in the past 3 years or so. At least I would hope so, considering, you clicked on this video. It's a simple little rhythm game created by Ninja Muffin 99 and the rest of the Funkin' team, consisting of names such as Kawaii Sprite and Phantom Arcade. Upon the game's initial release for the Ludum Dare 47 Game Jam event, a contest where multiple developers compete by making games from scratch in a set time frame, it instantly became a massive success. Before you knew it, the game was on every corner of the internet, whether that be for its classic references to old Newgrounds material, or its massive community spawning hundreds and thousands of brand new free to install mods. No matter what you think or thought of the game, one could and still cannot deny its influence on the internet as a whole. As time went on, the game would come to see many different mods, these being of course modifications of the original game to add whatever the modder saw fit. However, unlike most games modding communities, Friday Night Funkin' saw an entirely different approach. Rather than making small modifications to the game itself, people began to make their own engines, which improved upon the game's shortcomings. This, by the way, took rebuilding the entire game from scratch, only using assets and such from the base game. With these new engines, which ran smoother and allowed for better inputs than the original game, people started adding in their own characters, songs, and stories. From what was once just a small rhythm game with a total of 9 songs, a whole modding community was born, dedicated to being extremely original and creative with whatever they made. First we had mods like Witty, Sky, Zardy, Sunday, and Tricky V1. Mods that introduced faster charts, harder gameplay, and of course the obligatory third phase song transformation. These mods continued on to inspire other people to take their own shot at modding, and before you knew it, hundreds and thousands of mods were being pushed out and produced constantly. Some were amazing, and some, not so much. The point is that mods were picking up speed fast, and showing no signs of stopping anytime soon. This popularization of mods allowed developers to grow by making OC mods based on their own original characters. Mods like Versus Retrospector and Versus Garcello are two pretty good examples of this. Mods made by individuals about their own characters, which would send them shooting into popularity as a result. Now, this OC mod trend started to die down a bit when a certain mod about a certain evil hedgehog poked its head out of the ground, pun intended. Sonic.EXE, or its second version, changed the way FNF mods were looked at completely. Now instead of OC mods taking all the fame and popularity, creepypasta mods were now all the rage, and soon enough, the modding scene was saturated with them. Even to this day, as a Friday Night Funkin' content creator, I've seen how horror and creepypasta related mods perform much better on YouTube than any other type or genre of mod. Unfortunately, this is also when the original hype behind Friday Night Funkin' started to die down. Less and less people were talking about it commonly, and it began to fall into a state of irrelevancy. Of course, the game had always had its community of fans that have stuck with it throughout, such as myself. But with the lack of updates from the base game, the public eye began to shift its interest somewhere else. During this period, Friday Night Funkin' also became more of a game that people would clown on publicly, due to its general audience of children and its not so great size of the community. With all these factors combined, plus the fact that the game was starting to become more and more relevant day by day, hope was starting to dwindle for FNF fans and modders alike. All they could do was hope that one day, the game would see the same limelight it once had shining on it so brightly. And that's exactly what they got. Over a year before the release of Silly Billy, one of the developers of the Sonic.EXE mod I talked about earlier, Divide, created a concept for a character named Yourself. Though this rendition of Yourself looked a bit different from how we know him to be today. Rather than towering over BF, this version of Yourself seemed to only be a fair bit taller than him, while having some design differences, such as his facial expression resembling more of a blank smiling stare rather than the gnarly grin we see him with today. Upon seeing Divide's concept, Saster, a well-known modder and composer who also worked on Sonic.EXE, created his own version of the character based on Divide's initial concept. Hey guys, Editing SDB here. So I just wanted to make a little correction because apparently my dumbass can't read, and in the screenshot here it clearly says that Saster did not draw this version of Yourself. It was in fact drawn by Doorknob based off of Divide's sketches. So sorry for that little oversight. And yeah, this sketch was done by Doorknob, not Saster. Okay, back to the video, bye! Instead of being named Yourself, however, this version was given the name Lookalike. Now, Lookalike clearly looks a lot more similar to the character we now know as Yourself, the only real difference being in his hat and hair. He was apparently supposed to show up in Sonic.exe v3, according to Saster himself, but was most likely not finished due to the mod's cancellation. A couple months after the release of this information regarding Lookalike/Yourself in August of 2022, yet another mod was created under the name of Hit Single or Hit Single Reel. The mod itself had many people on its development team, but was mainly directed by Churgny Gurgny, a modder and composer with notable work on mods such as Rodent Rap, Friday Night Crunchin', and of course the song Subterfuge. Initially, the mod didn't really consist of much, until in June of 2023, almost a year after its initial release, an update was released adding the songs Joyous and Darnell Wet Fart. After that, another update came in early April of 2024, adding the song Fake Baby. At this point, it seemed that the mod was getting updated on an annual basis, though this chain would soon find a disruption in the form of an update just under a month after the release of Fake Baby. This update released on April 29th, 2024, and would, of course, become known as the Silly Billy Update. Added within this update was just one song, though almost instantly upon its release, the song began to explode in popularity. And when I say explode, I mean explode. YouTube videos, TikToks, tweets coming from left and right praising it. Old fans of the game, and even those who had never heard of or just never cared for the game to begin with, became enamored with the mod just as those who had been sticking around with the game for the past 3 years of its life. Views poured into reaction videos, gameplay videos, analysis videos, guitar covers, lyrical covers, fan art, compilations, and so much more. Suddenly, things were really starting to look up for Friday Night Funkin' fans, along with the game itself. But why? Why did Silly Billy, of all mods, blow up so much? What did this mod have that others didn't? And how did it prevent Friday Night Funkin' from sinking further into pure irrelevancy? Well, before I can answer those questions for you, if you would kindly take a moment to consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel, I would really appreciate it. I've been doing Friday Night Funkin' content for a while now, though this is my first time doing any type of content in this type of format, and it really does take quite a lot of effort. I also do a lot of gameplay and plan to do a lot more horror content in the future if you're interested in that kind of stuff. So if you are enjoying the video and want to see more like this from me in the future, again, please consider liking and subscribing. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of the video. Now back to the question, or questions at hand. Why did Silly Billy blow up so much, and how exactly did it save Friday Night Funkin'? Well, there's a couple reasons for this. First of which would be the fact that the mod isn't based off of any currently existing popular IP or characters. Well, not ones outside of FNF at least. Fact is that the mod scene as of the past year or two, as I mentioned earlier, has been flooded by mods relating to creepypastas about popular and titular characters, such as Sonic, Mario, Cartoon Cat, Mouse.avi, and others. While these mods aren't inherently bad, in fact most are quite good from my experience, they still highlight a problem in the community regarding how many of them are constantly pushed out, overshadowing other mods that may not be horror related, but are still damn good mods worthy of attention and praise. Sure, while they may do well, there's such an overabundance of them that the market gets quite flooded. And I'm not saying that all of them are to take advantage of this either, though it's undeniable that they do make up what is mainly popular amongst FNF fans, especially Sonic.EXE. With this in mind, Silly Billy takes the idea of horror into account, But instead of using other IP or popular characters, it uses the main character of the game itself, BF, to throw its horror aspects onto. Though this has been done before with versions of Faker BF and whatnot, the design of yourself is much more well put together and thought through than any other rendition of horror BF seen in the past, in my opinion at least. The face and design of yourself not only play into the familiarity aspect of it being BF, which already catches the eyes of some, but also the overall design of yourself and differences between him and BF are just enough to be familiar, but also intriguing. The creepy smile, ragged clothes, and of course height difference between the two. This alone is enough to most likely catch the viewer's attention, using what is familiar to them, but also leaving them wanting to know more about this strange BF lookalike, using both its subtle and more recognizable differences at a first glance. The second reason is a quick one, but also important. That of course being the fact that it's a horror mod in general. As I stated earlier plenty of times, through my time in being a Friday Night Funkin' content creator, I've noticed patterns where two mods of the same IP could both be released, one with horror elements, and one without. However, the one with horror elements will almost always outdo the one that sticks to more of a non-horror related genre, both in views and downloads. This definitely helps Silly Billy, as the horror aspect infused into yourself as a character, both through design and animation, helped the mod get that horror mod advantage that so many previous mods had. Another great reason the mod is so popular is due to the character backstory given. Most FNF mods either don't have a story at all, or have one that is simply shown through the gameplay itself. However, Silly Billy doesn't exactly follow that typical FNF mod trope. Instead, the story behind Silly Billy is not shown through the gameplay or visuals explicitly, though glimpses and hints as to what and who yourself is can be caught if one is paying close enough attention. Of course, there are theories and speculations as to the finer details of yourself as a character, but the main story behind yourself goes as follows. His version of GF, or herself, died in some tragic accident which led BF, or yourself, to go insane due to not being able to cope with losing her. As a result, he has left his body and clothes to wear out and decay, hence his appearance. His height, on the other hand, is not an abnormality at all. In fact, this is BF's actual canonical height, so while it may be a point of interest that people are drawn to, this is simply just how tall BF actually is. Also, regarding GF or herself from yourself's universe, she is actually visible as a bright red glow or shadow behind yourself during the lyric cutscene, a point that a lot of people were sure to call me out on missing in my gameplay reaction to the mod, which you can check out in the top right corner of the screen right now. Speaking of the cutscene, this brings me to my final point as to why Silly Billy became as popular as we find it to be today. The sheer amount of effort that went into this mod is insane, obviously. The intro cutscene where yourself hits BF in the face with a microphone and walks out from the mirror, the overall visuals throughout the song, sprites, backgrounds, UI, all of it. The absolute banger instrumental and vocals combined to make this masterpiece of a song. It's all so special. However, one cannot deny what truly made Silly Billy into the FNF mod icon that it is today. When this cutscene hit the internet, everyone was instantly drawn to it. FNF fans, non-FNF fans, FNF haters, people who had no idea what the game was in the first place, all around the internet people came to see the amazing animation and lyrical performance put on display. People from all around praised how amazing and beautiful the performance itself was. People went out of their way to post it everywhere they could, made reaction and gameplay videos further praising it, made edits of it on TikTok and YouTube Shorts, referenced and compared it to other properties. Some even spammed every comment section on every single video or post they could find about how the lyrics yourself sings are referencing how Divide passed away in his sleep, even though this is entirely untrue, and this information has never been confirmed by anyone who knew Divide, nor has any information regarding Divide's reason for passing been shared publicly, nor does it need to be shared. Stop spreading misinformation about people you have no connection to or knowledge about for the sake of some internet points. It's not that hard to be respectful and fact check what you say. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, this lyric cutscene had just about everything anyone could have asked for. Incredibly smooth and fluid animation, powerful lyrics referencing yourself's struggle with herself's passing performed by none other than Churgany, a powerful instrumental that still gives me goosebumps upon hearing it to this day. There was so much pure talent in all of its aspects, and people definitely took notice. This, along with other reasons I've mentioned, pushed Yourself and Silly Billy as a whole to crazy heights. Heights that FNF fans haven't seen in forever now. Along with this, the Weekend 1 update for the base game dropped directly the day after the release of the update for Silly Billy. So with both Silly Billy and this combined, Friday Night Funkin' was suddenly made relevant again. Though funnily enough, I do believe that the Silly Billy update had an even bigger impact on the mainstream than the official update for the official game did. Just goes to show how fascinated people were with this amazing work of art presented to them. It also goes to show a true rule of thumb for making a Friday Night Funkin' mod. If you put hard work and dedication into a Friday Night Funkin' mod, and truly do give it your all, you'll get back what you deserve. As long as it's horror related, a creepypasta has a big name backing it, or has anything to do with Sonic or Among Us. People who had dropped the game at some point began to return and see all of the new things the community has created since they left. Even one of the official developers behind Friday Night Funkin', Phantom Arcade, released his thoughts on Silly Billy during one of his streams.
The last mod I checked out, I was looking at Silly Billy. I wasn't playing it, but I checked it out. I guess that's called Hit Single, and Silly Billy's a song from it. But of course I saw all that. That's so crazy that we launched the game after like the most mega fucking huge ass mod and like Forever comes out. Alex, I saw that popping off and I watched the video of it. I was like, this is sick. And then I was like, yo, they don't even know. They don't even know. That was very cool. I feel like it got to be completely devoid of our own stuff. It just kind of got to be a cool back-to-back double whammy of FNF days.
It's quite awe-inspiring to see how far one small idea can go to become something that reignites a fire in a community which was once slowly burning out into irrelevance. An idea created by a super awesome and talented person that I'm so glad can be fully recognized and get the attention it deserves. So thank you, Divide, for providing the single character who would save Friday Night Funkin'. And thank you, the viewer, for taking the time to listen to my thoughts on this topic. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe so I can know that you guys want to see more content like this in the future. It was honestly a lot of fun to do research for this video and learn the true origins of this character, so I hope you all enjoyed hearing me talk about it. I actually already have a couple similar style videos on some similar and different topics coming up. One I'm almost done scripting actually. So I'll hope to see you guys in the next video. Once again, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. See ya!